Hi artist. Well, this week we're going to add the hair shape to your self-portrait, and we're not going to make it perfect hair yet. We're just going to kind of lay in the shape and save our space. We're also then going to begin to refine the face so it begins to look like you or your subject. So we're going to begin thinking about the shape of your face, the shape of your eyes and nose and mouth, and we're going to begin to give it a little bit of shading. All right, let's go to the studio. Let's talk about doing the hair wrong. Now, I'm just using my plain old number 2 pencil. If you happen to have a 6B, that's a lot more fun to work with, but again, we can really make a good self-portrait just using what we already have. The first thing that can go wrong is if you draw the hair straight down. And what's wrong with this is it's not adding any height. Hair actually adds height to your head. And so we want to cause the hair to have height and not just go straight down. Now the second thing is if you draw hair going straight up like that. Hair should cover some of the front part of the forehead and come down to the ears like that. So to draw it going straight up like that, even if there's a mohawk hairdo or something, we're going to still need hair that comes down at least a little ways in the front. Another thing that can go wrong is if you get the basic shape of the hair correct here, or the basic flow of the hair, but you're not adding any height. You would need it to add height. About 1/2 inch to 2 inches depending on the hairstyle. So again, to leave it simply on the original oval of the face and not raise it above, that would be a mistake as well. So what we do want to do is draw the hair correctly. We want to first, I'll do the small so you can see it against the other ones, and then we'll draw it on our big one. You want to look and identify where the part is on the head, and you want to draw 2 lines to identify the part. Then you want to go up, maybe at least 1/2 inch, and draw the basic shape of the hair on that side and the flow of it on this side. And that could be an example of short hair, with it kind of flowing toward the ear there and there. So these 2 lines I would want to take out. Okay, so I've added height, I've added a part, and I've drawn a curve that doesn't go straight up, straight down with no height, or the correct shape here and here, but missing the height here and here. Okay, so let's go get our drawings out and we're going to add the hair. So now's the time we're really going to start to make this look like ourselves or the person we're drawing. Right now, I'd like to remind you about a good setup for how to sit for your self-portrait. You'll want to put a mirror on the side that you're not drawing with, and you'll want to have your pencil in the side that you are drawing with, and make sure you're in a very well lit area. Actually look in your face in the mirror and make sure there's not any strange shadows going across your face. And as much as you can, work with the lighting in the room so that your face is nicely lit with shadows falling in a way that doesn't look strange, that it looks fairly nice. Okay, so looking into the mirror, identify where your part is. Every hairstyle has a part, even if it's very difficult to see. If you're having trouble with this step, send me your picture. If you're one of my students, send me your picture, and I'll show you where that part lies. Mostly these are pretty obvious, but on a few haircuts, they're a little bit harder to identify. And we're going to make that part represented by 2 stripes. Now later that'll make a lot more sense why we're doing it. It's going to help us kind of identify the flow of the hair. And then go up as much as it takes to kind of represent your hair. Now again, we're making a symbol for hair. Later on, we're going to lay in the actual hair. I'm going to go up about that high, and I'm going to draw a shape coming down to about there, and a hairline coming to there. Now I put this in front of the ear. Both boys and girls, men and women, can have hair that grows in front of the ear. On men, we call these sideburns. On women, sometimes they're a lot more delicate, but there often can be hair there. And we'll talk a little bit more about longer hairstyles in a moment. And on this side, I'm just going to flow again by the ear. And this is kind of giving me a basic placeholder for where the hair will go. Now, you'll notice that here's my scalp line. This is above, and it stays above as far down as it needs to go. Now, some people have very, very tall or teased up hairs, and that hair can often go quite a bit more away from the face and add even more height. So you'll just want to look at yourself specifically. All right, now we will begin to play with where this hair is placed, especially for long hair or hair that falls in front of the ears, a little later in the process after we've put in some other key lines. I'd like you all to go ahead and make these eyes your own. You'll need to look in the mirror. You've already done it to determine your part and the basic flow of your hair. Now look for the unique shape of your eyes, how kind of the skin is placed around your own eye, and your eyelashes and your eyebrows. Begin to look at those. Now they're not going to deviate too much from the plan. Like the eyelashes we have here aren't going to be strange. They're not going to be too much different. But they are going to have their unique flow and their unique thickness. So go ahead and put those in. Also, begin to refine these lines. Now again, they're not going to be too far off from where they are now. Like they're not going to be down in here. But you're going to kind of shape these to match your jawline. So go ahead and add that. And then you can add the neck. The neck begins at about where the jaw is. And it widens just, you begin to draw it and it widens just a little before going back down. So I'm here at where my jaw would be. And I draw that. And I can also begin to put in a bit of a shoulder. And you could even design the neck of your shirt depending on what you're choosing to wear. And in establishing that, especially if your hair is going to go and flow over the neck and shoulders, you can then add that. And so some necks are quite long, some necks aren't as long or don't show as much depending on the clothing that's being worn. So go ahead and look at that as you add in your shoulders and neck. Okay, I'll see you next week. When I see you again, we're going to start really shading the face, adding in the shade of the hair, and kind of getting this thing a lot more like you. So hopefully now you can see that it really is going to turn out to look like you very soon. All right, I'll see you all later.